And subhanAllah, we came there that night, and we were among what we were told were some of the, most active people in da'wah in the entire ummah. These people who were dedicating their lives to working for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in doing good. And I remember that night we were outside, and I saw something which until now really it makes me very, very sad. Something that no Muslim would ever want to see. No true Muslim would ever be able to bear seeing such a sight. I heard a roar coming from above us. I heard a massive sound of engines flying above us. And I looked up and I could see as clear as day an American fighter. You could see the missiles sitting on its wings, flying in the direction of Iraq. It was going there to kill Muslims. Now me, in my naivety, not realizing the people I was sitting among, I said, didn't you know this plane was going to come? Couldn't we have done something? Couldn't we have prepared something to stop this? And they said, brother, you don't know what da'wah is. We're here for da'wah. We're not here to make trouble. If we make trouble, we can't build centers. Don't make trouble. Don't speak like this. This is not da'wah. And I thought, subhanallah, is this what Islam teaches us? Is this hikmah that we're taught? This wisdom that we're supposed to have? As if, no. Don't worry about the Muslims being killed in Afghanistan. Don't worry about the Muslims being killed in Iraq. I mean, you can physically see the planes going above. No. Let them fly. Because we're here to work for the ummah. And I said, there's something very, very wrong here. There's something very, very wrong about the direction that we are being put in. And I found the whole time I was there in that country, many of the people that we were sitting among, they would mock and criticize many of the Muslims. They would mock many of the youth. I remember once there was a young boy, and of course he was doing something foolish. Like many of the Arabs who live in these countries with so much money and so much time and nothing to do, he was in his car doing burnouts in a car park, just going around and round and round all day. And of course, we as we were driving past, we saw him and we said, poor guy, may Allah guide him. And then the brothers, they looked at me with this evil grin and they said, you see, brother, these are the ones. These hooligans who have no understanding. One day they grow their beards and then they become mujahideen. Mocking them. As if to say, these people, what are they doing going to Iraq? No, we're the ones who understand Islam. We're the ones who sit here begging the king. We're the ones who sit here refusing to do anything for our Muslims just because they're on the other side of the border. What is this? What Islam is this? And this is a plague which has infested our ummah that many of our shuyukh have succumbed to. I remember this very year being in Dubai. I was invited to a conference. It was the second time that I'd been there. The first time that I went, it was organized by an Islamic center. So the second time I said, no problem, I'll come along. Little did I know though, the second time it was being hosted by the royal family of Dubai. So when the conference had begun, they gave us certain rules about what we can speak about and what we can't speak about. They said Syria is off the cards. You can't even mention the name Syria. Even certain fiqh subjects, they said you're not allowed to discuss any of these, and these come from the highest level. I was thinking, subhanallah, they're actually telling us what we can and we cannot speak about. And what amazed me is there were certain shuyukh there, one of them from Australia, praising these leaders to their faces. He said, this ummah has always been strengthened by great scholars and great leaders, both of which are here in this gathering today. I'm thinking, subhanallah, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And I remember when this conference began, all of these shuyukh, we were sitting down, and then all of a sudden, boom, the speakers start blaring. And what were they playing? The Emirati national anthem. Every single one of them, boom, these shuyukh. Some of them Wahhabis by name, Salafis by name, Ikhwanis by name. And they're jumping for the national anthem. And so I said to one of them, dear brother, because out of all of them I thought he's the one who's probably going to be most open to the reality. I said, dear brother, why are you standing for the national anthem? And he said, to be honest, I thought that the Amir was coming in, so I was going to stand for him. I said, this isn't really any better. And so he asked me why. And this is a person that I used to, learn from. I used to actually study with, and he's an amazing person. But he said to me, why? I said, don't you know that this nation, the UAE, has troops in Afghanistan supporting the Muslims, supporting the Americans in fighting the Muslims? He said, I didn't know that. He wasn't aware of this. And so he said, is this true? Can I verify it? I said, of course you can. And so he verified it, that it is true. And then he said, I'm not going to come back to this country again. Alhamdulillah, he was one of the people who was willing to accept this. As for the others, most of them, subhanallah, you couldn't say a single word. They had become that controlled by the apparatus that was put in place. This modern Islam, or national Islam, or local Islam, whereby you actually take orders. I remember when I was working with Iqra, one of the Islamic channels, we were based in Egypt. But of course, Iqra is owned by a Saudi, who's a very close friend of the King of Saudi Arabia. After a while working with this channel, even then I was given orders. I was told that there's certain topics you're not allowed to talk about. For example, I was banned from mentioning the word khilafah. This word specifically, they said, you are banned from mentioning the word khilafah on our channel. So of course, the next episode that I did was all about khilafah. In fact, we had a whole khilafah week. Because I wanted to say to them, you can't control what we say. Because we're here to call to the pure and pristine Islam as taught to us by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We want to call to that which is good, and we want to forbid that which is evil, as mandated by what? By the Quran and the Sunnah. Not mandated by so-and-so businessman or so-and-so leader. I was told, for example, there are certain subjects which are definitely taboo. The most taboo of subjects is the royal family. You can't mention anything. And I remember one day they said to me as well, every day they'd come up with a new list. One day they said, you're not allowed to talk about Sudan or Dubai. And I said, why Sudan or Dubai? Why these two countries? And they said, because the owner of our channel has just started some new business deals in these countries, and we don't want you to say anything bad lest it affect his business deals. And I said, subhanallah, and when he has business with Israel, do we stop criticizing them as well? Where is the limit? How much of our religion really do you want to change? How ashamed can you possibly be?